A local minister struggled with sexual addiction for 20 years. Chris Beal's wife admitted her husband had a problem 10 years ago. The couple stayed together following an affair that led to a pregnancy. A sermon by a fellow pastor at LifeChurch.tv inspired Beal to come forward and the family to help others fighting the same addiction.
I knew things were not quite right with us. I knew something was wrong. I just wasn't sure what it was. He disclosed a little bit of his struggle with pornography, but not the full gamut of it. So I kind of had an idea that he struggled some. And so we did ministry. We were raising a son, and we were leading worship at our church. And then all of a sudden, he came clean and told me everything. So that's kind of how life was. I was just like, what are we going to do? You know, or what am I going to do? Because it really, at that point, I wasn't sure I would stay. I was probably leaning more toward leaving, because how can you repair something like that ultimately? I mean, that's devastation in a marriage. I mean, we've seen devastation in the world, but for a marriage, that's pretty devastating. And I just thought, I don't know how we can do that. And it just seemed a little easier to leave. But I started seeing over a period of time, even that day, just every single day, I just started seeing a real brokenness in him, a real true deep repentance in him. He was truly sorry, not only for what he'd done to our marriage, but how he had shamed the name of Christ. He really, truly saw that, and it broke his heart. And so when I started seeing things like that, I thought, well, maybe there is hope, you know, and so that's the path we started going down, so. And that's really what I want people to know. I wrote my book to help people who've had betrayal in their marriage, not just infidelity, it could be lies or any other kind of betrayal, but I wrote it to be a help for people, but I also wrote it to tell what God did. I mean, that's really, you know, that's really the cry of my heart, which is, hey, let me tell you what God did for me. I mean, it's kind of like the blind man in the Bible. He says, I don't know what happened. All I know is I was blind, and now I see. And all I know in my life is my marriage was dead, and now it's alive. So that's really, that's probably my biggest thing I want people to know is God still performs miracles. So.